Later on the show, the cost of eggs have skyrocketed, but don't worry, Sophie Uliano has egg alternatives. It's a problem, it's an obstacle. Technology. Parents are trying to teach their children, like myself, teach my children social skills that they're going to need later in life. They don't seem to be interested at the moment, but they're going to need it. So we have communication expert, best-selling author of the new book called Beyond Texting. Please welcome Debra Fine, who is here. Hi. Talk about numbers, if you will, for us in this case. How much time do teens spend with technology?
The statistics show, Mark, that they spend 30 hours during a week, Monday through Friday. So that's, forget Saturday and Sunday when you'd expect them to be on
then it's off the
devices.
charts then, yeah.
30 hours between Monday and Friday. And we're not talking about summertime. We're talking about school time, work time. If they're an internship, they have some summer job or whatever. That's a lot of hours on a device like this.
Yeah, so what are the negative consequences of something?
Well, besides this, chiropractors are going to make a lot of money off that generation,
but
don't you think?
outside of that, though.
Well, the biggest part is just even right now, me being with you, you seem genuinely interested in what I have to say. How can you, over text, determine that? How can you tell if someone's sympathetic or empathetic via text or Facebook?
Miscommunication.
Don't you think?
Yes, and there has to be negative consequences to this with the children and technology. What are some of them?
They don't recognize cues, and it's not, it's not their fault. I don't want to diss the younger generation. How would you gain the cues that you're going to tell me when it's okay when I should stop? You're nodding right now and letting me know you're following along.
Right.
You just gave me a verbal cue. That's an important ingredient to showing someone they're being listened to.
Because we are communicating and feeling and...
Right, but they're communicating via text. They're just not communicating in this way.
Right. Can I be the devil's advocate, though, and say that, our kids, our guys, they actually were born with technology.
Right.
And like I have a family member that is autistic, and she literally at 3, the iPad became her way of communicating.
Right.
It taught her to tell time, and that really is like an extra appendage to them now.
But look, you're the expert, but I mean, I think that's a special case circumstance where it has become past just a hobby or pastime that they use to communicate.
Actually, speaking of someone with a challenge, people with Asperger's, for whatever it's worth, that's my original book, The Fine Art of Small Talk, they love that book because it tells you what to say and when to say it and how to do what I just saw Christina do. She nodded, she gave me, if you tell some people what to say and how to say it and what body language to show, as long as they can copy that, then they can interact face to face. People want to learn how to do that, but you're not going to learn doing this or doing Facebook or what is Facebook? Does anybody post things that are bad about themselves? They only post, they made the baseball team, they got asked to prom. Do you know how miserable it must be to be an ordinary person?
That they've lost a family member, and then they get all kinds of people saying,
that
I feel so bad, I'm sending you prayers. I think there is.
I think there's so many pluses, Kim, to technology. Texting is so, I have kids, they're raised now. I like to say they're supporting themselves, so that's a good thing. But it's great to text to say, can we talk on the phone? But that sets up a time. It's great to get a client call or get a job interview and call back and say, yeah, I'd like to do this. If we taught our teens to pick up the phone, they think it's a burden now to call somebody. It's
or to write a thank you.
Or to write a thank you.
So as parents, what exercises, I'll use exercises, can we do with our teens?
Well, first of all, be a great role model. That's number one, because how many times have you looked around a restaurant and seen this from the people that are my age? Let's have some rules and who sets up boundaries? We're supposed to, educators and parents. That's number one. Number two, let's give some examples of, let's say, what I call in the book instant messaging, because the book is meant for teens. It's a great book to read with a parent, but it's meant for them. So I called it instant messaging instead of body language because body language is old news. So can I stand up?
Yes, of course.
So if you've ever seen somebody at a party like this, they appear ill at ease, they're uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or someone at a party like this. Okay, so I just faked it. Both of those. I'm not an actress, I just faked it. So here's what I say to teens. Recognize your body language, your instant messaging. Find the positive. There's illustrations in this book, positive and negative. Make sure you always use the positive. When you're talking to a teacher, to sit calmly and look in your eye and show posture and show that you're comfortable even when you're not. appear like you're comfortable.
But they don't have the skills, because I feel that
Right.
we as parents give them permission, because it's easier to set them off into a corner so they don't, you're busy doing something in the house and you don't want to be bothered. Not that you don't want to be bothered with your
Right.
children, but it's
Right.
easier. And so they go, how do you teach a child to do that? And by the way, I take full responsibility if my child turns out that way. I'm always yelling at them.
Same.
Put
I agree,
your
Christina.
phone down and
Me
talk
too.
to me. Look, and if you want to go be with that person, go be with that person, then come back and talk to
I
me.
couldn't
Same.
agree more.
And a dinner
I think
table.
our kids are
All
the
that.
same age, 20s and 30s, I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the rule. And now we don't all live together anymore, but we don't. But my phone isn't out there either.
But we're blaming our poor kids for this. It's not their fault. It's our fault.
Do you know how many times do you see somebody talking to their kid? Oh, I have to make this dentist appointment. No, you don't. You can wait until you're done interacting with your family and then go make the dentist appointment, like the good old-fashioned way of doing it.
All right, look, this has resonated with our viewers, by the way, Facebook viewers. Melinda Monroy says, "My daughter can't stop texting cannot stop talking in text. I think that she's going to spell disaster. What she's going to spell disaster when interviewing for jobs
Right.
or interacting with professors in college this fall. What do I do?"
I say make a trade out. Any parent knows a trade out. This is what I mean. We're going to go to this neighborhood barbecue, or you're going to volunteer for the church, or something where there's face-to-face interaction. And if you do that, I'll do this for you. I'll take you to Nordstrom's Rack and I'll give you $50, or I will take you to Waterworld, or or I'll let you use your device for an extra 2 hours this week. But you have to bring them and show them after church services how to interact with people, or at a wedding. You don't let your teenager sit over there and not properly introduce him or herself to people, to not use people's names. You have to make them do it, otherwise it's too hard to learn it unless you do it.
But that would also be, I mean, we're talking about children communicating with adults, but how I have a 14-year-old,
Right.
and how she communicates with her friends is in text talk. So I hear them going, TBH, 5, 3, 4,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. It's gobbledygook.
Right.
I don't understand
glad you got that
what
down,
this.
though,
I'm
so
glad I
you're doing
know.
better than I do.
Yeah. But really, I mean,
So what are you saying? Are you saying
there's
we
a whole
shouldn't
new
let them
language.
say
there's
LOL?
a whole new language.
There is
what I'm saying.
but is it?
And it's
Do
like
we really
teen
want to
language.
sound like dinosaurs and say you can't say LOL?
I know,
I don't think that's
right?
cool to be a parent like that. I think they can talk their own way. What we're asking them to do is learn these skills so that they make friends in high school, so that they're leaders, so that when they see somebody shy standing over there, they know what to say to include them in conversation, so they know how to build rapport, so they know how to talk to professors, or so they know how to negotiate with you, Mark, their dad, to get a different curfew or to get more phone time. That's what this book is about. How do you negotiate? How do they learn that? And the truth is that we've all had our crutches, okay? Every generation.
I will tell you, because of the Father's Day incident,
Right.
they don't know this yet, but when they come home, we're having a face-to-face.
Right.
I didn't want to pick up the phone
Right.
and say, "Why did you not?"
Exactly.
It's going to sit down because they're going to see, and I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to tell them I'm disappointed extremely because it was
Right.
a special day, and they're going to feel how I felt because
And
that's
see
the
how
only
you're gonna
way.
see how
So that way, that impact is there. That empathy you talked about. That's
Right.
my plan of action.
yeah,
Right.
that's a
All right.
great idea.
Well, beyond texting, the fine art of face-to-face communication for teenagers is available everywhere. Books are sold. I'm going to go get them. Your advice is priceless, and you can also visit DebraFine.com.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much. Such good
Yeah.
insight.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Renee Lawless, and she is from Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots, and we have her